You are live. Well, I felt it important to come on live and talk about the current energy and some of the transitions and experiences that we as a collective are going through. And I do want to also talk about a few other things that I tend to not talk about, not because I'm afraid of them or because I don't believe in them, but because they're energies, entities, dimensions, layers that I prefer not to give of my energy, feed that entity, so to speak. But I am going to talk about it now because I feel like many of us are being exposed to the truth more and more, and many will be over the course of the next week or two, having some big realizations. And right now, Mercury is in a very weak conjunction to Pluto because Mercury's still in Capricorn, but it won't take long. Few days into next week, Mercury and Pluto will be in a tighter and tighter conjunction. So I want to talk about that energy as well. And I'm going to just give it a second. I'm going to light my candle and wait for people to come on into the chat. I know this was spontaneous, and many people have been saying that their notifications, they're not getting their notifications when I go live. It's not a shocker right now, and nothing against YouTube, but right now the algorithmic whatever is changing. Let's just say that. And we're going with the flow here, but hello to all of you who are joining. Let me just get into this because now I'm starting to get a little bit of a nervous sensation internally because of what I'm about to talk about. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to feed that fire. I don't want to feed that flame. But it is important that I speak about it at least a little bit so that it brings more awareness to any of you or all of you who may be experiencing some realizations even on how we can fall into certain hypnotic states, spells, if you will. There are definitely layers. It is seen in the esoteric and in the energetic world, layers of consciousness, consciousnesses, of frequencies, of tones, of certain words that can really put us into a trance hypnotic like state. And it is also meant for our growth and learning when we finally snap out of that trance state or hypnotic state or state of some form of spell. Some call it black magic. And again, I'm not here to bring fear. I'm not here to even give that energy any of my energy. I just want to enlighten the community, those of you who or waking up from certain spells or states of hypnosis that you may be finding yourself aware of. Or if it's not you, if you're already been aware of it and you're watching your loved ones or other people in your life finally come to realization of themselves being placed under these trance-like states. And again, it has everything to do with tone, with frequency, and words that speak to a whole, so to speak, speak to a hole in our aura, in our auric field, a hole internally that feeds that spot temporarily. And we're starting to really get some pieces of that puzzle, some of that clarity for ourselves as Mercury gets closer and closer to Pluto. So again, Mercury being the mind, our mental functions, as well as communications, how we take in information internally, how we take in energetics internally in the mind, how we process things through the mind, how we process things through the mind when we've got a hole or an imbalance internally somewhere. Because when there's something that's not imbalanced internally, we're going to perceive and process information differently. We're going to be processing it from that wound, especially this energy I'm talking about, because it's a very strong energy and it is part of the journey. So this is not to place blame on anyone or anything, but it is a very strong energy. Certain energies that have very strong frequencies, tones, pitches. There are words that are connected to this as well that have the ability to put us in this trance hypnotic like state. And it's very persuasive. It's very persuasive energy. And it will typically, it's prone to leading us into that hole. It will lead us into our own unknown addictive patterns, whether it be to substances, whether it be to completely dissociating and checking out, whether it be to consumerism and greed, you name it. This energy, this spell, in indigenous tribes, they have a term for it, wetiko. Look it up. I got the chills. That is what I'm talking about here. So if you look at our surroundings, how things are marketed to us, how things are sold to us, the manipulation, the energy of manipulation that surrounds us always. Hi, hello, Martin. The energy of manipulation that is always surrounding us is of this energetic frequency I'm speaking of. That, again, I don't want to give it energy, but I want to make it clear that it does exist and that it will teach us a lesson, a very deep lesson. So again, some people call it black magic spells. And depending on your perception, sure. I'm going to say that does exist. And at this time, we are moving into a very strong energetic conjunction with Pluto and Mercury that is bringing us to a point of karmic return. These are karmic lessons. So this is a karmic return. It is taking that spell, that hypnotic state, or what had been cast out to many of us, and it is raining down on us more pieces of the puzzle. And it is up to us to process and put these pieces of the puzzle together for more clarity. And the more clarity we receive, the more aha moments we have, the more we learn internally, it turns that energy of the spell, the energy of the manipulation, back onto the spellcaster, back to where it originated from. Hello, Polar Original. I like that name. So I am not naive to the fact that this energy does not exist. I'm very well aware of this energy and have a lot of experience in it, from both angles, actually, because when you have your realizations, it's also playing on the shadow of us, and we can see bits and pieces of ourselves, not to the degree of what we're experiencing towards us, but of our own woundedness, our own actions, reactions from our own wounds and the hole in our auric field. This is why it's really important for us to, when we're consciously on the spiritual path, that we really focus on staying in the middle path in the spiritual, where we don't fall too far to one side or the other. We don't fall too far into the material realm of consumerism, consumption, and we don't fall too far. That leads to fear and becoming ungrounded and believing in a lot of those hypnotic states we're put into. Hello, Panchar, hi. Or we don't fall too far the other way into the etheric realms and get lost and become ungrounded there. It's really important to stay in the middle path where we have feet on the ground and connection above, and we're connected to our intuitive system, that our energy field is not tampered with by outside forces and sources. So I'm not sure how long all of you were on here to begin with, but I just wanted to make it very clear that what I have been picking up on, what I have been also witnessing, what I have experienced, and decided not to bypass my own personal experiences with this, but to see it for what it is and release the energy back to those that try to manipulate my energy field, manipulate others' energy that are supposed to be connecting with me, and that's really placing the energy back onto them, and it's becoming very apparent. They're suddenly they can't hide how they're being or acting, and what maybe they have been doing all along. So there are people that are finally waking up and realizing, okay, things are not at all what I thought they were when it comes to this person or these people or this situation. There's more pieces of the puzzle coming together. I've heard David Icke talk about Wetiko. Yes, oh yes. I have the whole, the story is just, it gives me chills. Gives me chills, and that is how they explain it, the indigenous, is that it affects the mind. It's the disease of the mind. It is also a spell. It is a very, very strong energy that lies in our energy field, that is designed to find the holes in our aura, the holes in our energy field, and it will get you right where you are unconscious to. And we all fall into these lessons, these experiences to one degree or another in our lifetime. It is part of the life path. I'm from Myanmar. Where are you from? I am from Pennsylvania in the United States. So I wanted, and I know that a lot of this energy has been coming up in a lot of the readings I've been doing lately. And I wasn't even 100% sure if this was what was happening until last night and this morning. It was confirmed to me. The gaslighting card kept coming up. And I think that many people are waking up to the fact that they have been under some kind of manipulated spell that was an energy that was manipulating them, a frequency, certain words, the power of, the guilt, the guilty conscience as well. So, again, as Mercury gets closer and closer to conjuncting Pluto, which it is in a weak conjunction right now, which so that may explain why I'm starting to witness it and others are starting to experience the realization, the truth of others. They can't hide their truth anymore. So I'm going to just read into this. Well, thank you, Panchar. Thank you. We're going to get a reading into this just really quickly. I wanted to come on live just to kind of get a feel for if any of you have been witnessing or experiencing this energy very strongly yet. Because I typically will jump on and give these messages ahead of time. But it might be a little early. But keep an eye out for sudden realizations, sudden truths, truth bombs hitting. And for those who had been pulled into the hypnotic state for any given amount of time, it is very shocking, and it's going to take a bit of time to process and heal from. But there are deep, deep life lessons in these experiences. And it really is a course correction that will have you can't not pivot and move in a direction that is more in alignment with your truth. Because suffering in silence kept coming up as well in some of the readings, that there's a deep, intuitive inner knowing of the truth. Yet the outside person or situation or experience is not showing what internally we intuitively know. And so there's either a fear of just bringing it to the light of consciousness, because how can I prove? Maybe I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong, kind of thing. So there's been a lot of people who have held their tongue, bit their tongue, kept silent about certain truths that they internally already know. And that can cause, that can cause a lot of internal issues, stomach issues, digestion issues, acid reflux and whatnot, just swallowing that truth, and also throat issues. So anyway, these bigger puzzle pieces are now being given to us that we thought we had the puzzle pieces. We thought we had all of the truth. And, wait for it. There's more. There is more. Oh, trust me when I say, there is more. Okay. Yeah. What else it is showing us is bringing up our unconscious patterns from our inner child and our inner child wounding. Hello, Granny Paula. And here's the gaslit card. Perfect timing, perfect delivery. You can't make it up. So this energy is already strong. It is already starting to work its way into our experiences right now of how we have been manipulated by someone or something, how we have been pulled into some hypnotic state, and that was an energy that was feeding a hole internally. It was also feeding unconscious patterns of our own that were unhealthy, and it's all linked to the inner child wounding. But now, and in the next few weeks, you're going to start to really see how internally, again, as I was talking about, internally, there's an already deep inner knowing of the truth. But externally, it's showing you to be completely opposite of what internally you know. Now the truth is showing itself, and they're big puzzle pieces that are coming. Big ones, like truth bombs you cannot escape from. So it's up to us. Do we want to continue to gaslight ourselves or confront the truth? Honor the truth. And know that this energy exists everywhere. We are swimming in it. You go outside your house, you see it everywhere. This is how everything is marketed to us. This is how everything is designed to get into a gaping hole, feeding a void. Whether it's like, you need this product, this will make you feel better, this will make you look better, this will make you act better, this will give you more confidence, this will give you more better sleep. All of the bullshit we are fed feeds a hole, a gaping hole that each and every one of us has in some area. Wetiko, a contagious psycho-spiritual disease of the soul that is currently being acted out en masse on the world stage via an insidious collective psychosis of titanic proportions. Yes, and that was prophesized way before we were alive on this planet. That has been a prophecy for a very long time. And I will also say that a lot of the Hopi and the Mayan prophecies, which kind of the ones that have been showing themselves to me, kind of mirror each other, are beginning to really unfold now. And I'm not in a space or a place to really speak about all of the Hopi and Mayan prophecies. Not yet, but they are written. And yeah, there's an energy block. I'm not the one to prophesize these things or share the prophecies other than what has been given to me to share. So Wetiko is definitely one. I shared one also with the when we see the two suns. It's the prophecy of the two suns. You can look that one up too if you want. Which I did, was honored and graced with the ability to see the two suns a week or two ago. So all of these unconscious patterns and realizations are coming to the surface. Now, you know, everybody's journey is different and unique to them. So I'm speaking to those of us, those of you who are awakening to certain realities that are different from what you believed to be true. 131, 1133, says Granny Paula. And Martin says, Granny Paula, hi. And Paula says, hi, Martin. Hey, you guys. Thank you for sharing that, Martin. Yes. Have been very aware of the Wetiko prophecy, and it always gives me the chills. It's kind of creepy in a way, but at the same time I understand it as being part of the journey. And it is like that energy that creates zombies, zombifies. No wonder there's so many zombie movies and zombie stories. We've all turned into zombies of some degree from this energy, this spell, this black magic. And you know, take it as you will. Again, I don't want to feed the energy. I'm not giving it the fire to feed fear in anybody. It's always been. It's always been on the planet. It's a part of the life journey. But when we become aware of us getting pulled into certain scenarios, certain beliefs, certain experiences that have our minds perceiving it as one way, but we're overriding what we feel internally in the solar plexus, in the heart, in the throat chakra. When your body's like telling you otherwise, you know you're in that trance-like state, that hypnosis of sorts. It's a disconnection from spirit. Yes, 100%. And that actually just came up in the air signs. I just uploaded that before I came on here. So any of the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. You can check that out after we're done here. Oh boy, okay. Okay. So this is the card of mutable. It's saying surrender, fluidity, welcoming change. Be ready to surrender. If you haven't had this experience yet, you will. I've already had a touch of it. More so, I've been on the witnessing end of others coming to realization of the truth that I was just probably the scapegoat of that energy, if you know what I mean. So there are others who are playing out their jealousy or their inner child wounds towards me with another person. And so their energy, their tone, their words, their pitch, their selling point grab the attention of another who's supposed to be, and this happens all the time. I'm so used to it. This has happened since my childhood. I've been very aware of it. Happened to my mother. Grabs the attention of the person that is supposed to be connecting with me on a spiritual level and pulls them in another direction. And it used to be a big wound of mine, but I've come a very long way to seeing it in a whole new light, so that when it happens, I'm able to surrender, let go, and not, sure, it hurts, but not be so deeply pained and hurt and end up chasing or trying to go after the person like, hey, don't you see what's happening? No, I have to allow them to have that experience. And I think because I've been doing this since I was a child, I'm so used to it. It speeds it up, and it speeds up the lesson for the other person shows their true colors faster, because I'm not in the between. I'm not getting involved with the spell, with that energy. I'm pushing that energy back at them. I'm not bypassing it, but I'm very well aware of what's happening, and I'm able to step back and let that dynamic go on. And that's a mastery. That's probably one of the biggest life lessons that I've had to master pretty quickly, pretty at a young age, you know. What are you guys saying here? And nature, yes, Granny Paula, disconnection from spirit and from nature, absolutely. Martin says the masses look to their governments as their God. Yep. And it's also ego. Yes. There's so many different ways and realms that this energy operates, but it's always operating at a certain frequency. And so when we have a wound, when we have something missing, when we haven't fully healed or even recognized certain patterns and wounds and triggers within ourselves, that energy will go right to that. It almost seems like it's a band-aid, like you're feeling a certain way, here, this is going to make you feel better, and it pulls you into a place that, when you're done with it, you're like, what happened? Why did I do that? How did that happen? Always searching for the savior. Yeah, that's another card that's been coming up a lot. Superman's not coming, because the only person that can truly save us is ourselves. I've tried to intervene with people that I've seen this happen with, and you know what happens? I get punished. I get a big slap of that energy, and I've learned that is not through the spiritual realms, that is not for me to interfere with when I see that that's going on. And it's a shame. But again, that's why I'm on here. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to the collective who starts to recognize this, that this has truly happened. This has happened to you. This has happened to me. It's happened to all of us in multiple ways, in multiple areas of our lives. And that knowledge, that awareness, and why did it feed a certain part of you that was wounded or missing? When we can give ourselves that love, when we can fill that void ourselves, no longer do we fall victim to wetiko, no longer do we fall victim to the manipulation, to the black magic, to the hypnosis. We become self-mastery. And as we get stronger, as the light gets stronger, so will this energy. But it's something you can't deny. It's so blatantly obvious that there's times I almost have to laugh. It's sad. It's a shame. But I have to laugh about it. But the card says surrender. Be fluid. Fluidity. And welcome change. Because this change is happening. And this is happening fast. Stay in the middle ground. Middle path, where we don't fall too far into the material world and we don't fall too far into the etheric realms. We've got a nice balance of both. I have to head out for work, but wanted to check in. I saw this. Hope you are well. Everyone have a good day and hang in there. Have a good day, Granny Paula. Yes, I am doing well. I'm doing well. I had a cold again, but getting over that, so. We'll talk later. All right. Let's see here. Anything else? I don't have a whole lot of time on here either. I do have some other things I must do as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there are some that are already going through this right now. And as the unconscious patterns are becoming conscious, it's causing great anxiety, worry, pain, fear, nightmares, sleepless nights. Just, how could I have fallen for that? And, recognizing the shadow internally. It's not easy, but it is important that we do this part of the work so that we don't fall for this energy time and time again, but we're not easily manipulated in the future. Ace of Swords, awareness, clarity, higher mind. Allow the inner child to show the truth as well. What has been the truth internally all along is revealing itself externally. And that's painful. That's painful to see that, I've allowed myself to be manipulated. I've allowed myself to fall for something that I thought was a good thing. I thought was love, but it's not. I thought was healthy for me, but it's not. And it feels like a great big, it's revealing heartache and pain, betrayal, loss. New pandemic is here. Oh, yeah, well, I think it's been here for a while. I'm not laughing at it. It is in the energy. Just because whatever the powers that be or the marketing people or the news and stuff say certain things doesn't mean that that's true. Actually, that's a big truth that's being truth bombed on the collective over and over and over again from Pluto. So be mindful. Pluto is not exactly conjunct, Mercury is not exactly conjunct Pluto yet. It's a weak conjunction. Mercury is still in Capricorn, but Mercury moves pretty fast. Moving into Aquarius will be an exact conjunction to Pluto. And that is when it's like, mind blown truth and clarity that is going to be shocking. It's shocking. After 2 months, that will happen, believe me. The highest wisdom is simple and passes through the brain directly into the heart. Yeah, that's true. Victor Schauberger. The highest wisdom is simple and passes through the brain directly into the heart. Yeah, because we hold the truth internally. It's already inside of us as well. It's just that we override our intuitive senses. We override our primordial, primate, intuitive knowing that we're born with. That our psychic senses, our intuitive senses, they are talking to us all the time. And do we listen to it all the time? You know, we will be more and more. So overall, we have the 9 of Swords. 9 of Wands, sorry. 9 of Wands. I think there's going to be a huge realization of how much energy, and this is collectively speaking, so take it as it resonates for you. I know that I've been witnessing this, some of my loved ones go through this, and it is a shock, and it is hard. But it also illuminates the internal strength within, like, wow, I just went through a tornado of experiences, emotions, events. I got to see a lot of my shadow. I got to see my separation, how I fell for certain spells, hypnosis, beliefs. But I'm not giving up. This is not giving up. This is the card of wanting to give up at some times, but not giving up on yourself. Not giving up on yourself. The world below that. Completion. Completion. Boy, we've got a lot of new people in here. You'll have to read it from the beginning. I didn't have enough space to write it. Oh, I see. Whoops. Perseverance, yeah. So we're going to get one last card for us all for advice as we go through this intense time of the darker aspects of life revealing themselves. The truth that we've already known within being confirmed. And then there's that realization of like, oh my God, I freaking fell for it. I just have to laugh because honestly, it's painful. It's extremely painful. Yet, it is so important to have that experience. So, one last card. Seems like everybody kind of dropped off anyway, but I do have to go. So I just want to pull us some advice after putting this out there. And again, no fear. This energy's always existed. And it will try to tempt you back. It will have temper tantrums. This energy is very strong. We are moving into the year of the dragon, and the dragon's tail wants to lash back and forth and pull us back. No, once you know, you can't go back. All right? Once you know, you cannot go back. Once you're in tune with your inner knowing, you can try to go back, but you're going to find it very difficult. So I hope that you all understand that this is not a message of fear, but a message of empowerment, that yes, you experienced what you experienced, and you may have been gaslit, but understand that that won't happen again once you come to the real truth. And we have the storyteller, which I think is also important, that we do share our stories, our experiences with others when the time comes. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Exactly. So the storyteller, live larger than life. Make the most of every experience. You can choose the meaning that you give events. Find interpretations that empower you rather than diminish you. Be the storyteller and the hero of your own life. Give your personal story empowering meanings. Your native spirit wants you to know, around the evening campfire, clan members always look forward to the storyteller recounting events of the daily happenings of the tribe. Even the most mundane event took on a vibrancy in the expert hands of the experienced storyteller. The storyteller card chose you to remind you to be the champion of your own personal myth. Be the central character. Don't live life according to the needs and expectations of others. Don't be a bit player in your own story. That's right. If anything that these experiences and making the unconscious patterns conscious, it's showing each and every one of us that we are the creators of our reality. We need to be the storyteller, not letting somebody else tell you who you are, tell you what to do, how to be, how to act. You, me, each and every one of us. Let us be the storyteller of our own story and make it a miraculous, beautiful story. So that's what I have for everyone right now. I hope that you are all doing well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for participating. And just remember, as Mercury moves closer and closer to Pluto, we're going to be given more and more pieces of our puzzle. Pieces of the puzzle of, like, there could be other people. From my experience right now, anyway, it's been old stories. But they're coming to life for the people that have been playing them. And I've been just the background scapegoat. Not feeding into the energy. Not believing that either. Just understanding what the play is, how it's going about. And yeah, it's very interesting, but the truth is being revealed. So much love to you all. Thank you for joining. Take care, Martin, and everybody else that has been participating in here. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, beautiful evening, wherever you are in the world. And thank you. You stay awesome too. Take care. Bye.